Happy Friday. Welcome back to another live training. And this training, I want to talk about sales. I want to talk about lead generation and sales, as I see this as a big pain point for most entrepreneurs that I work with. I've seen this in my corporate experience. It is one of the things that we struggle with the most, whether it's the mindset around sales or how to actually start connecting all the dots between how our branding is working, how our marketing is working, how our sales system needs to be set and put in place, lead generation, and also how is it that we can optimize client referrals, the clients that we've actually helped. How is it that we can keep up our clients, retain them, and then have other systems in place to grow our businesses. So thank you so much for joining me. As I said, those of you that are joining me, we're going to make this training very interactive. I'm very conversation-based sort of person, so I would love to hear as I am covering different points that I think will be pretty valuable and will serve you. Just let me know in the chat any takeaways, anything, any aha moments, things that you might be struggling with in implementing and having those gaps in your current business, so that we can I can tailor the training to pretty much where you are in your phase and stage, because the beauty of being in business is that, or being an entrepreneur in general, is that we're all in different stages, right? We all have different gaps of our knowledge. We have different experiences. So I want to make sure that we are implementing, I'm implementing the information that I want to share with you guys today according to your individual businesses. So let's talk about lead generation, right? Lead generation is actually the beginning of anything that happens in our business. And unless we are able to have a system that we are creating to do lead generation, then we have no business. So pretty much no lead generation system in place, no business. Because at the end of the day, one of the major pain points, as I said, is we're always looking for more clients. Whether you are at the very, very beginning phase of your business, you need your first couple of clients to make ends meet and to really, get your business off the ground. But then, of course, you need to implement all these other systems so that you can keep more clients coming towards you. And one of the main things that I notice in the marketplace as well, and also with my clients, is that we don't have all these systems in place. So we rely a lot on word of mouth, which is great. That means you're amazing at what you do. You have client testimonials. People love your service. Well, I'm going to focus on service today because I focus on service-based businesses, but it could be the same for products. So people love what you have to offer. So obviously they are referring you to their network, to people that they know, which is actually the fourth system in business, which I will talk about today. But we can't just rely on that, can we, right? Because we have monthly bills to always pay, right, in our business. And not to take into account that most entrepreneurs do not pay themselves first. So we're always paying all these bills for our businesses, but, we might be struggling with getting income and profit for our business so that we're actually meeting and really taking care of our personal lifestyle and expenses as well. So this is just something that I notice as well. So no leads, no business. So we really have to learn how to set all of these parts in motion so that we can have a solid foundation. I'm big on foundation. I think, business needs a very solid foundation so that you can sustain yourself and you can grow yourself moving forward. So lead generation is the beginning process of any business, really. So I'm going to attempt to connect all of this for you today as far as, what is lead generation, what is marketing, what is sales, what is branding, and also how is it that we continue to sustain our business growth, right? Because a lot of times we learn these very separately, and a lot of entrepreneurs kind of don't really understand the way that all of these connect together. That's why if you find a gap in the business, in the process that you are actually missing, that will be the clarity that you walk away with from this training. So we need to have lead generation system in place in our business. We need to have marketing in our business. We need to have sales system in place, and also client retention, right? So we need all those four different components together so that we constantly have new clients coming towards us. we are serving the clients we currently have at a highest level, but also we have a system for our current clients to retain them and to upscale them as well, right? So all of these need to work together. So I'm gonna do a little introduction of my background. I didn't just fall into these topics, right? My experience was in corporate America, Fortune 500 company in the retail industry, actually, which is an industry that is in decline right now. So I made my exit, I guess, at the right time over 5 years ago when I opted out for entrepreneurship. I was very blessed and lucky to be able to done a lot of different roles in the company. The company was growing. So I did HR, marketing, sales, and then my recent role was executive leadership, where of course I saw the behind the scenes of how all these systems worked. And I was able to obviously generate lots of income for my current company that I worked for. So, and then after that, I pivoted to entrepreneurship. And 5 years later, through a lot of learning, growth, and a lot of adaptation of my current experience that I had gained over the years, I built a seven-figure business of my own, right? So what I'm going to attempt to share with you today is things that come naturally to me because of my experience, but also things that I've seen over and over and over. So just like anything we do with our work, once you see patterns and you do something consistently and you have quite a lot of experience and you have tons of people with the thing that you feel the most called to serve, and you feel like you really drive results and you serve others at the highest level, you tend to see patterns. So when you see those patterns, obviously those are the basics, those are the principles. So that's always been the mission of my work, to really look at the patterns and the principles of things, so that when I am coaching, training, teaching, whatever aspect, giving people the kind of the foundational pieces, because I think once you understand the foundation and also high level strategy for your business, then you become the CEO that you need to become so that you can make effective decisions. And if you know there's gaps in your systems inside your business, then you know where to focus your attention. And you are not just following trends, following tactics, following the next thing that you hear, but you have a really solid knowledge and education. I'm very passionate about educating in the topics that I teach. So that is kind of like my methodology. So enough about me. If you have any other questions, just let me know, but that's kind of been my background. So this is not new to me. I'm very business minded. Also, some of my values are really being of service-minded business, really making an impact with what I do. So a lot of these things that I teach I've really turned around and now implement the mission that I want to help as many entrepreneurs as possible use their gifts and their expertise and really making a bigger impact, but also running a profitable business, because you'll run yourself to ground if you are just helping, serving, but you don't really understand the business side of things in your business. You don't have that education and all these different components so that you can also sustain your growth and you can impact more people without running yourself to the ground, with having the income that you need, so that, like I said, you can meet your individual lifestyle goals and the goals of your business as well. You can have a healthy business. We talk so much about quality of life, and you want health in your relationships, you want health in your body. But of course, you also need to learn how to have a healthy business, because all these areas impact one another. Whether your mission is to just travel or your mission is to make the most impact and do good work in the world, it doesn't really matter, right? All our goals are individual, but at the end of the day, building a business that has really no limitation and gives you the impact and the channel to really work on your gifts in order to make that impact. That's kind of my personal mission, to help as many entrepreneurs with what I do best, which is business growth. So I will start to dissect some of these systems. So we talked about marketing. So what is the difference between marketing, branding, sales, right? A lot of times we hear these terms, but we don't really understand, what is the difference between all of them. So marketing is really visibility and audience building and warming up your audience, right? So in a nutshell, that's what marketing is. Marketing is serving, whether you are serving with your content, whether you are serving and showing up with other people's communities, whether you are serving with networking, whether you are serving in whatever form, that you really build an audience around a major ecosystem where you bring perspective, your warm audience to. And I'm assuming that you have a clear target for your audience. That comes first. I don't know what phase and stage you might be in your business, but you might be at a phase where you already have a clear offer and audience, which always come before any audience building. Because right now the problem is that people are not very clear who their audience is, that they don't understand how to do lead generation with their current audiences, and how to actually monetize or create a sales system or lead generation system around the audiences that you have built, so that you can actually close sales. At the end of the business, sales is your lifeline. You can do all the marketing in the world. I always say you can be the best at what you do. But if your marketing is not in place and you are not putting yourself out there and building these warm audiences, then if people don't know about you, then obviously you are going to struggle with getting clients and with growing your business. So that's really in a nutshell what marketing is, right? So whether you wrote a book and now you are speaking about topics that you teach inside your book that also relate to your offer, that is what marketing is. Right? So you're putting yourself out there, you're warming up, people are building. In a nutshell, marketing is really that saying that we always hear, know, like, and trust, right? So marketing is just there to build your know, like, and trust. But marketing without the sales part does not necessarily translate into dollars, income, clients, right? So that's kind of the gap for a lot of people. And then the other part is branding. Branding and marketing goes hand in hand, because branding is really the way that you get known in the industry that you are part of, right? So, the way that people know you, how many people know you. Branding is always about when people talk about, the thing that you do, getting known for the one thing, they relate you as the best at what you do because of your reputation and because of your client results, that they're able to refer you. So this is where referrals come from branding, right? Whether someone had a personal experience with you or whether someone heard about you from a friend or someone that has come across your path, right? And of course, marketing and branding go together. You have to grow your brand beyond you, especially as we are service-based entrepreneurs and we need to grow our businesses. Once we eventually introduce team into our business, then of course, we need to start removing ourselves from being first of line service delivery for the products or the offers that we have going on, right? So branding and marketing go hand in hand. You need to get known. You need to put yourself out there. That's what branding is. That's what marketing is. But that stops there. And those are important, right? Because unless people see you and know you, then obviously how is it that you can even have a chance to do sales? The other part is that I'm going to say that I feel is the problem with sales, especially online sales, which is why we have so much noise with people thinking of sales being such a salesy, icky thing. It's because we don't really understand it. We don't really understand how to do it. And we also have other people that we have experienced that have done sales, the salesy, the icky way, have that intention of like selling something to you, again, because they're missing the marketing and the branding, right? It's like so common online. It's like someone always is selling to you, but you have no idea what I do. You have no clue who I am. You don't know anything about me because you haven't done your marketing correctly and your branding. You haven't built know, like, and trust. And we like to buy from people that, I don't know about you, let me know in the chat. Sometimes I feel like I'm talking to myself, but I don't know about you, but I don't buy anything from people that I don't either know, have some exposure to, have met somewhere, someone has told me something about, or I've seen their content and I've fallen in love with them because of the service and how much they actually offer, right? So that's what's missing out there. People are missing, the people that are doing the sales part don't understand how to implement and do the marketing and the branding, which is all about serving, right? So you got to do the serving so that you earn the right to do the selling. So that this is a big gap out there. So I hope this was sort of like a ha moment for a lot of people. It was for me when I realized how things are happening online and why even so many of my clients like struggle with this part, right? To kind of like implement the sales part in their business because we have been, exposed to all these other methods of sales done wrong, I should say. So, all righty. So let me see. I think I have a comment here. Yeah. So Julia's like, first impression is a big thing for me. If I feel pushed or rushed, I tend to second guess their business. Absolutely, because their intention is sales, right? They haven't done the building, knowing, liking, and trusting. It's a process. It is totally a process to do that. That's why we need to build audiences out of service. And I talk so much about community, right? You need to bring people to a place where they know, like, and trust you. Whether it's your Facebook group, Julia is my community manager, doing an amazing job with our community. Whether it's your podcast, where do you put your best stuff? Where do you put your best serving content? Whether it's LinkedIn, whether it's Instagram, right? Whether it's YouTube channel, right? So your hub should be the place where people are seeing and really, getting exposed to your work, your personality, right? And personality, we could talk all day about how that connects to marketing because people don't buy, we don't buy programs, we don't buy coaching, we don't buy products, we don't buy services. We buy the person because we build know, like, and trust with them and they have served us. And then of course we buy solutions to our problems. That's the other thing. Yep, like Kyla says, hearing and seeing good reviews always helps me feel more confident about buying something. Absolutely. It's because, you feel the trust. You haven't built trust yet with the person, right? So the reviews are that way, that customer testimonials, reviews are that way, that kind of be like, okay, this is a safe space to go. And this is actually a good solution for my problem, right? So that's kind of how we all think. So that's exactly what happens. Thanks so much, Lakayla, for sharing that. And keep the chat coming. I would love to kind of have an interaction and a conversation for sure. So that's what marketing and branding is in a nutshell, right? So those are like the big components of how it works. Now, sales is the gap that really fills all this together, which is why we're here, right? Like the major pain points, right? Why we need more, what do we do about it? So now that we understand how marketing and branding should work, and unless you're doing marketing and branding, you can't just do sales. All these things have to really be present in your business. Otherwise, you just look like that icky salesperson that knows nothing about me, but you're trying to push something cold on me that you don't even know if I need, because you never made an attempt to get to know me. So that's what that is. So sales is really from how we convert all these marketing efforts we're doing, all these branding efforts we're doing into clients, from conversion, right? To conversion. So from warm to converted. So we warm up the audience and then we have to convert it, obviously, because then, we have clients, and that's how we have another chance to serve our clients at a higher level, right? Because unless you come inside and get the service that I have to offer, then obviously I can't offer the transformation. Another thing clients buy, transformation. Nobody cares, yes, we care about building trust and all of that, but at the end of the day, we are selfish. We want to know what's in it for me. And I always look at the things that I need to do. So that if your service or product is positioned that way, so that you understand my pain points and the results I'm trying to achieve, that is why selling is serving. right? And we need to change this whole mindset about selling once we understand all these components. Because if you've done the two parts right, the next part just becomes about answering questions, meeting people where they are, and then customizing what you have to offer to them so that you help them solve a major pain point and problem with what you have chosen to work on or to offer to humanity, I say, to people, right? So that is what what really sales is. Sales is what brings dollars to the bank, right? Sales is what goes in the bank. It's your income. And unless there is sales happening, there is no income. You're obviously, we're struggling. We can't stay in business. You're going to close the doors to your business. Eventually, you're going to run down. There's a lot of people right now that are going to get jobs because they don't really understand all these different components, or more importantly, how is it that they can implement them in their business. So I'm going to teach you 3 effective key systems to sales to start having in place. So the first thing is effective conversations. I cannot say this enough, but everything is a conversation with sales. So out of all the marketing efforts and the branding efforts that you're doing, especially online, we need to have conversations with human beings, right? So if someone is in your community, we need to have a conversation. We need to understand where they are, find a common point of connection, and learn more about one another. This is where we actually find out more about where they are, where is it that I am, where is it that we can help one another, or where is it that we can actually support one another with turning into a client, if that is what it is, right? If you have an offer that helps someone, the only way you're going to transfer that over is through conversation. So we need to have effective conversations, whether they are daily conversations. So this is the lead generation that we have to always do. We have to have a process behind all these conversations. We talk so often over, building audiences with volume rather than, quality, right? So it's not a business success indication that you have, let's say, a community Facebook group or of 1 million people on there and no one is your client, right? Because you don't have none of this stuff working for you, right? So if you don't have any of these processes working for you, then how are you serving that community at the highest level? The way that I see service to my community is that the people that are around me are my clients and I'm helping them at a higher level. And I have a client for life mentality that I'll share with you as well in the next system that I'll share with you. But that's kind of how it works, right? So we need to ensure that we have effective conversations, and then we're tracking our conversations, right? Because as we're speaking and we're building our audiences, we need to have very meaningful conversations happening with learning more about one another. Where is it that one another actually is? And following up, right? That's actually my next thing I wrote here, is I try to write everything to keep the conversation on track, because I tend to just spill my experience very just all over the place sometimes, because it's comes naturally to me. But I also have to be mindful that I don't overwhelm, right? Because that's another lesson in marketing. An overwhelmed buyer or client or customer or audience never buys, because when we overwhelm, we're overwhelmed, we're shutting it all down. We're not going to take action, right? So the next one is fortune. It is fortune. Fortune isn't a follow-up, right? So following up on these conversations is so crucial, and keep the service going. Offer a resource, find out more about the person, offer a resource, more resources, something that you think that they would need. Be of service to the other person until they know more about what is it that you do. And then later on, maybe they are ready. Maybe the timing is not now. Now you've done your good job with your marketing, which is why your marketing and branding needs to stay consistent. I think I missed that part, which is so important. Because you need to be top of mind, right? You're competing online with content. You're competing with other people that are saying that they do what you do. So there's all these other factors that we have to consider. So that's why we need to stay top of mind, because heck, people are busy. That's why it's whoever follows up the most is always going to get the sale and win. Always remember that. Because for me, follow up personally is caring. As long as you're not salesy and you've done all these other components, as I said, when you follow up, it's not a bother. It's you care. You care. You're staying on top of me. You care that I have the solution to this problem I have, and you now know more about. So follow up is really caring. So that's where the fortune is with anything we do. We can't just assume that we spoke to someone once and we're pretty much gonna have a client, right then and there. It's a process of trust. It's a process of connection. It's a process of nurturing. It's a process of all the way until you close the client. And that's where the next journey happens. I feel like when you close the client is when the new journey, begins, which is you serving them, right? So it's like the journey. It's like the way you're serving them at a higher level. And unless you can close the sale, then obviously there's no open door yet. So you can serve that problem at a higher level with whatever it is that you do. All right, you guys got all quiet on me. Tell me on over chat if this is clear, if it's resonating, if it's not complicated, if it's practical, all of it. Let me know in the chat as I keep going. All right, I brought my tea over too, so I tend to get like dry throat. Okay. Awesome. So you're here with me. So the next thing is really have consistent events always happening in your business, whether it's one-to-one conversations. Conversations is the main pillar, the main theme. Whether it's events like this, you're bringing people together and teaching and still serving, right? Whether it's other types of events, and I strategize on many different things with my clients, but that's part of sales, whether it's one-to-one or one-to-many. You must have all these things recurring in your business at all times, right? Because you need to have things that you have put in place so you are generating revenue and you are increasing your brand at all times. We can't just do something once and just hope that people will remember us because of all the other factors that I said before. So those are the three sales, three keys to sales and effective sales. So let me know if any of this is actually resonating as far as sales. I mean, is it more understandable? Is it less scary? Just let me know what's really like connecting with you there. Yeah. Lakaila says, I learned very early on, a conversation doesn't always have to be a business transaction. Let it be organic and natural. The best. Lakaila, that's like golden. We connect on any level of life. That's why I said when we start a conversation, that's why we have to think of human beings. A lot of times we just get so psyched up over sales and closing clients that we forget that we're talking to another human being and we just can connect really on anything. You're inside the same Facebook group. Hello, we're part of the same community. You met each other at the daycare. Hey, our kid goes here. You met each other on a Zoom call, on a networking event. Hey, we're part of the same, event. So keep the conversations coming. It's so, so true. We connect on many levels, right? And the more that, this is true for your marketing, by the way, with content creation, the more you're authentic, the more you speak from your heart, the more you stand for, the more people will connect with you. That's what marketing is. In all these different things that you are showcasing about, not only the topic and the area of expertise, but also other areas of your life. Parenting, maybe you're into, I don't know, I'm into going to the gym, working out. Some people connect with that. I'm from corporate. Some people connect with that. I am spiritual. Some people connect with that. So there's so many common points we can connect with. So it's so true what you said, Lakaila. Thank you so much for sharing that. Consistency has always been a problem for me because of life. Yeah, absolutely. So consistency is like a habit, right? It's like a habit. It's like time management, time blocking. And a lot of these things that we need to do, and this is what I teach, inside my programs, because this is another thing that always comes up besides mindset in some of these things, right? But Consistency is really how is it that you can start implementing these things and creating habits. That's why I talk so much about skills. Everything is a skill. You know, you haven't gone on camera before and did a live, it's a skill. With practice, it gets better. It becomes natural. You haven't spoken before, well, start speaking. Everything is a skill. You haven't wrote before, start writing, practice it. Everything is another skill. So it's all like things that we can learn, which is why I'm so big on skills and foundational pieces in business, because all of these things obviously connect with one another. But yeah, so Delandra says also it's resonating. It makes sense. I'm so glad, Delandra, to follow up to show that you care about the individual instead of it seeming like you are here to take their money and leave them high and dry. Yeah, the intention, the energy you have around the conversation, it is so transferable. So that's why when we are first connecting, we need to connect to build trust. We need to connect to serve, right? We need to connect to see how is it that I can support this other human being. Even if they're not interested in what you are doing or what you have to offer, still think of how is it that I can support them. What other resources do I have available? Who do I know from my network that can help them? So still ask, like, how is it that we can support one another? What is the next right step that we can take here? Right? I always ask that. Get curious. It is so important. What was the third piece to sales? Yep. So the third piece to sales, Delandra, was events, consistent events that we need to have happening, whether it's one-to-one Zoom calls, whether it's connection calls, whether it's a consultation, whether it's like one-to-many, you're organizing a training, a live training, you're going and speaking somewhere, right? So constant events in your business that you can increase your marketing, branding, and then eventually have a chance to bring people through your lead generation funnel so that you can eventually, you know, turn them into clients, right? So I have this funnel here. Don't make fun of my drawing. I guess if it's another skill, just like I said, right? So if I want to pick up drawing, I can really get better. But anyway, so the funnel, right? So we need to constantly have people in this top part of the funnel that is coming towards us in our business, right? So again, where is that place, that big place, the ecosystem that you're sending people to that they're all like constantly coming down? And then through your marketing over here somewhere, then your message filters and people kind of come down the funnel all the way down until they turn into clients. Your marketing helps them warm up, build knowledge and trust, get to know you, see what you're about, see if your values resonate with them, branding, all of that is right here. And then the next one is the sales, which is down here, right? So you're bringing people through the journey with you. I love the word journey because a business is a journey. Clients have their journeys, the way they come to you from first getting to know about you all the way to closing them on a sale based on what you have to offer. And then they end up over here at the end of the funnel. And that's like a closed sale. And then this funnel constantly has to keep going in your business. You know, you can't just have like a stale funnel where you just now have an audience, but you're not adding in new people to your world. That's why marketing, branding is ongoing. It never stops because that always has to happen. By the way, this is a great funnel for focus and strategy in your business because I don't call myself a coach. I don't resonate with coach. With what I do, I resonate with strategy because everything is a strategy and a step-by-step customized process and journey that people go through in their business. So when you grow your business, when you're at the beginning, because you're not very clear on how to do all these things, you're like all the way here. This is where we start with, you know, I help everyone. And we have no clear audience, no clear purpose, no clear messaging, all of that. So that's like at the beginning. And then as you grow your business, you have clients, you have more clarity over who you're serving, how you're serving them, how to serve them better and all of that, then you kind of like go in the middle and your focus narrows. Your marketing gets better. Your messaging gets clearer. By the way, marketing is also messaging. I can't believe I forgot to say that. but marketing is all in your messaging. So, and then down the line, your focus gets narrower and narrower. The bigger your business, the more successful your business, the narrower your focus. Just so you like know that. That's kind of how it works. All you're doing in the effort, when we think the opposite, it's crazy, right? Because like the bigger the business, the bigger the focus. No, it's why we have to segment ourselves, strategize. That's why I believe in the word strategy, because it's like very intentional behaviors and things that we need to set in place. So we are very focused into what we're doing, and we are not all over the place, so that we can focus our energy and focus our efforts in the right places at the right times. They're not only going to buy you back time, but also going to make you the income that you need in your business, because your business has to be healthy, right? So that is my little funnel assimilation there. And then the last piece, right, is really the retention, referrals, reactivations of your current clients, right? So this is another piece that is so important to implement after you have the sales system in place, to constantly have a system of how is it that you are retaining your clients? What is the next journey looking like for them? That's another whole like mapping out strategy and journey for your current clients, because hello, what's the best client you have? Your current ones. It takes 7 times more money and effort and energy to get a new client, to bring them through all those steps we talked about, than to really up level. I say always up level and help your current clients get better results. This is where I believe I believe the client for life mentality, because you need to have a whole side of your business where you have, the way that journey goes. How are you going to retain them? What is the journey looking like for them once they come to you? How do you reactivate past clients and maybe at some point one another stopped working with you, right? How do you generate referrals? How to create a whole system out of your current clients, because those are your best ambassadors. Those are the best people that know, like, and trust you and have already invested in you, right? So they already have a very high level emotional connection with you if you've done a good job. That's why it's good that, businesses out there online, we have referrals, but we need all these other systems and places in things in place so that we can keep growing our business. We can't just rely on, that's just one bucket. If I were to like put them in buckets, it's like 4 buckets, right? So you have lead generation is one bucket, marketing is another bucket, sales is another bucket, and then client retention, referrals, reactivation is the 4th bucket. And all these buckets need to constantly work together. And then the next one is actually building a team around you to help you do all of this, right? But baby steps, strategy, meet you where you are, implement all these things in your business so that you can start bringing in income and bringing in other resources to help you, right? Whether it's more people to hire that are going to help you, whether it's down the line to invest in ads, that's okay. We can do that as well, right? That's why ads are out there. But the problem is that most people don't know how to connect all of these. So they'll just go to random efforts and they don't really understand, how is it that to implement all these different things together. So that is my spiel on that. Let me know if you have any other questions regarding any of the things that I talked about. Awesome. Thanks. So I would end here. This is all that I had prepared for this training today. As usual, if anything resonated with this and you now see the bigger picture of what is it that you need to have in place and you find the gaps, definitely reach out and let me know how is it that I can support you further. I would be more than happy to get on a call and hear more about, what your business is, what you're struggling with, where you are, and kind of see the gap for you, diagnose where exactly, are we missing the pieces of the puzzle, and then offer a solution to you, because this is what I do. So Thanks so much for everyone that has joined here on Zoom, and I will see you again in another training. Bye for now. Thanks again, and have a great weekend, everyone.